So they have to, it's going to be basically a motion to dismiss in the form of a squash because they have to argue that argument on behalf of them. So it's going to be, this is going to happen sooner than all the other stuff. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out because I think it's going to establish where this whole thing is going.
I think we know the direction of that, at least for the Snark mods. It's like a nut. Like I always say, they step in on a couple of rakes. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Again, like Ethan was even saying, like, bro, again, if they have to, like, go out and hire this, like, boutique law firm in San Francisco or whatever, they clearly feel as though they have to go on the defensive now. Like, they clearly feel like, yeah, they're being attacked, all this different, John. Even though heads like Roman P was literally saying Ethan has no merit on his lawsuit and, like, literally it's looking so stupid and people are gonna look dumb and look like so stupid themselves when they fall on their face when nothing happens. It seems like something is happening. Like, bro, come on. Y'all know what it is and know how I get down, baby. In the ever-so quest for the H3 Snark mods to be as cooked as ever. You know, the whole debacle goes down with the Denims, Casey Tron, and Frogan malicious copyright lawsuit. The backstory, we done seen the other day on the pod that, yeah, the pod, the crew, you know what I'm saying, Ethan, Ela, everyone on the John, had covered the whole Denims John and how, moronic she truly is. We already know how that gets down. But within that, they were talking about the whole squash, John. I was calling that boy tennis, but we were seeing how, like, Denims was laughing at Ethan or whatever for sitting there and, like, talking about the whole squash thing, and he was sitting there, like, looking, like, bored or whatever. It was dumb. It was stupid. But apparently, Legal Mindset has posted a video on the Snark mods, you know what I'm saying Ethan Klein has squashed the Snark mod. So I guess we're throwing a little bit of that in there, but talking more about the whole Snark mod situation because they are absolutely cooked, baby, as we know and have said earlier. So we not waste no more time. We need to get into it. Trilly talks everything. Trilly does indeed have everything every single time. Let's get right into it. You already know, of course, you see him there. Shout out Legal Mindset. Shout out a little bit Uncle Mindset. We got, like I said in the intro, Ethan Klein squashes Reddit mods. Of course, you guys want to watch the OG video, down in the description, first link, sure to love it, of course, Legal Mindset. And we ain't wasting no more time. Let's that's the hair flip. Said you a lesbian, girl, me too. Hop into this boy. I already know how we get down.
Okay. Let me pull up this one. So this is, I got this off of X earlier today. Ethan reveals the H3 Snark mods banded together and hired the same law firm to fight against the subpoena request. So I'll play this 2-minute clip. Let me get this presentation and make sure the sound is on. Okay, there we go. Cool.
Surprised by this. We heard from the legal counsel of a new app, someone who we haven't heard from before. The H3 Snark mods have banded together and hired a boutique law firm.
This should have me crying, bro. You sound like these bulls out of San Francisco? Oh, yeah, nah, they really cooked.
Located in San Francisco, which makes me raise my eyebrow.
What makes it boutique?
It just means like a small specialized. Okay. They seem like yes. Professionals.
Okay, they usually are.
Yes. A boutique law firm in San Francisco to represent all of them. And the reason they've hired this lawyer is to challenge our subpoena request.
They don't want
not the squash tournaments.
They're scared.
I think he meant quash, right? Because he sometimes just slips up. I think he meant quash, but I'll give him that one because squash is also enough. Like just, it's good enough. It's close enough. It's close enough, Ethan. I get
no Legal Mindset. It's the squash tournament. Like
over saying amendable instead of amenable, but it's all right.
They're scared. Whatever's in there must be bad.
I respect.
I mean, off the rip, it's already bad just from what we can see. If we look at all the different bulls, Jones, like, you know what I'm saying, Gorby, Gato, you know what I'm saying, Show Bahu, H4 Producatons, Ethan's Attic / Basement, all these different bulls, like, yeah, it's already looking as bad as it could possibly get.
3 Snark. And I believe
they're being like Roman P, all these different heads, like, yeah.
Silent.
Shut up, Adam. But the truth is, all we actually are asking for and need is their names so that we can serve them. Right. So they're going to have to do this motion to squash, which is very interesting. It's going to essentially, they're going to have to argue on behalf of the 3 defendants that what they did was not infringement to therefore make themselves ineligible to be subpoenaed. So they have to, it's going to be basically a motion to dismiss in the form of a squash because they have to argue that argument on behalf of them. So it's going to be this is going to happen sooner than all the other stuff, and it's gonna be very interesting to see how that plays out, because I think it's going to establish where this whole thing is going.
I think we know the direction of that, at least for the Snark mods. It's like a nut. Like I always say, they stepping on a couple of rakes. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Again, like Ethan was even saying, like, bro, again, if they have to, like, go out and hire this, like, boutique law firm in San Francisco, whatever, they clearly feel as though they have to go on the defensive now. Like, they clearly feel like, yeah, they're being attacked, all this different, John. Even though heads like Roman P was literally saying Ethan has no merit on his lawsuit, and, like, literally it's looking so stupid, and people are gonna look dumb and look like so stupid themselves when they fall on their face when nothing happens. It seems like something is happening. Like, bro, come on.
Because if the judge says no to that, it's this.
That's literally. I'm gonna pause this. Every time he's saying it, I'm literally thinking about quash. Yeah, exactly. Like it's because it's quash. It's quash. It's quash. But
yes,
yeah, squash that.
Yes.
I believe it's the same judge that's on Denham's case.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same judge. It's all in that case.
And that is not looking good.
The Benjamin Cassis Bull Frost LLP. Yeah, when Les was talking about it.
Good for Denham. If the judge grants it, then it's like they don't think we have
legal mindset. I told you, talk about the quash tournament. I mean, quash. Now I'm saying quash, bro. Even though that's the right John. But like, yo, we talk about the squash tournaments.
a case, right? If the judge denies it, it means they're all fucked.
They're
frankly,
fucked, yeah.
and so
that's yeah. So that's where we're going with that. Squash aside, what are your thoughts on that, Sean?
Well, they're better off arguing the contributory copyright infringement isn't there, because making the litigation for the three girls, that's not really going to get them anywhere, I don't think. But they're better off trying to argue, they didn't contributory copyright infringe. But I don't see how you're going to get anywhere, because there hasn't been any discovery yet. We're literally at the pleading stage, and the parties that are actually the main parties in this are not saying that they're ready for summary judgment yet. So
I'm assuming that being Denham's, Casey Tron and Frogan. Yeah. Nowhere near. Again, Casey Tron just upped her conjuration and summoned these Dremora lords, that being the lawyers. So I don't know if they're that ready.
I don't see how they're going to get anywhere with this.
I'm about to say, plus Frogan just got her John extended for another 60 days, another 2 months. So she's definitely not ready, clearly, as she needed that John, because she was fighting whether or not, she was served correctly, like if she was served properly.
And remember, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because all the girls give up your phones. We subpoenaing all your shit.
Give me their messages. You're not getting away with those. But that's another reason people were saying and theorizing that Ethan granted her another 60 days, that being Frogan, was because if they just allow her to do all this John right now and just let her get off, basically, then he won't get the messages from her and all that type of beat. And obviously, I want those
off your phone. I want access to your Reddit account. I mean, so they can fight and moan. Remember, there's multiple ways they're going to get this information. Number one, and then number two, I'm sure Ethan's got his attorney. They're going to do their sneaky stuff. Like you are not invisible on the internet, guys. You are not, and that's why people are.
That's why I keep telling heads, bro. That anonymous John, bro. These heads hiding behind the anime PFPs and all that, and truly loves anime, as we all know. There's nothing wrong with anime. Shoot, I got an anime PFP on some of my other Johns, bro. On the burners, shoot. I'm about to say, speaking of burner. Fuck it, I'll say it.
Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Again, we mentioned Gorby. Gorby, you dumbass. You need to know what the fuck a burner is. Anyway, bro, there's nothing wrong with having an anime PFP or some junk, but when heads are trying to hide behind their PFPs and all these different Jones, like how these Snark mods are doing, how these Twitter bulls are doing, again, all the Twitter and Snark mod bulls I was mentioning earlier are hiding behind these PFPs saying it's crazy, John. It's nah, bro, your ass can get subpoenaed. In the legal process, none of that shit matter, bro. Going straight through that, John, especially if, again, these corpo companies you're hiding behind, that being Twitter, Reddit, and all this type of John, they get subpoenaed, bro. They in the legal process. Nah, they're giving your shit up. You're the sacrifice. Bye bye. We'll be seeing you later.
Am I worried about when I'm on Twitter, people talk to them you can find me in 30 seconds if you want to.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I make it that there is protection in being known.
Yes, there is protection being known, there's protection being unknown, and once again, people say, oh, it's try to be invisible. It's no, just put a little like a speed bump, right? It's not even a stop. It's not stopping anybody, right? It's do you care to actually go find out, right? And if people care to find out, they'll find out, and that's just a reality of the internet, right? But yes, the reality is it's also quash, reject or void, especially legal procedures. So just so you know, guys, we're educational and entertaining, guys.
I'm
quash.
Sure Ethan and will bring up, do you have the standing to have to do this?
Well, that's a good
another
question.
issue.
I think they do, I would be on the side of they do because they're parties to the lawsuit. So how would the mods not?
Well, how do you know? How do we know you're a party to the lawsuit? I mean, that's right. Like, look, you're gonna have to tell us who you are.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not gonna be able to fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and like, obviously, I don't know shit about the lawyer process, but like, again, if these heads are gonna like defend themselves, especially now that they hired this antique like law firm or whatever that's in San Francisco, or boutique. I said antique boutique law firm that's in San Francisco. Like, if they're going to fight on the case of like not being subpoenaed, they have to obviously give their legal name and all that because you're going through the legal process. Like, they need to know who the fuck you are in that case to even like, you know, even for your attorneys and all that shit, who the fuck you are so they can fight on your behalf through the legal process. Like, what the fuck? Like,
you're not going to be able to. I don't know if they're not going to be able to proceed under a pseudonym at some point because
they will
like,
have.
And that's another thing I was saying, because you know how like this is the thing. This is why I'm happy. I kept, again, pros and cons of the slaps. I kept saying that thing about Denim's name because this can corroborate that. Because y'all see how they were using Denim's for the longest time, Nightmare on Denim Street for her John, and eventually they're using the John with her name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know her name or whatever. I don't know. I'm not gonna say her name because you're John Doxer or whatever. Her name is cool as hell, by the way. At least her last name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Character from Fate, if heads know. You know what I'm saying? One of the main gully pups in there, blonde hair. But like, yeah, bro. I was saying like her name is so cool. She, instead of naming herself Denim's Trousers, she should have named her some shit like around that jump. But anyway. Sidebar now, like eventually they started using her name. Same thing with Rogan, same thing with, like, you know what I'm saying, Casey Tron. So if these bulls are gonna be part of that John and or like being subpoenaed themselves, like, cause you know the Reddit John, like, yeah, they're gonna have to not be using Roman P fucking you know what I'm saying, Gato Fumador, you know what I'm saying, not niggas gonna have to use their actual governments.
It's unlike Pixie.
Stipulate that. Yes.
Yeah, unlike Pixie, we know who Pixie is.
Like, from Destiny?
Destiny knows, like, now.
I'm like,
maybe I am retarded and I'm wrong, but that's the argument I'm doing. Well, I'm sure Ethan's.
Could this be a double bind for that? I mean, this could be like an Ethan, like 4D chess move here. Is like by them going together into this law firm, they're gonna have to stipulate that this is indeed them.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't think about that either, because yeah, that definitely confirms that, yeah, these people are these fucking mods, because if you're not, then why the fuck are you fighting on behalf of not being subpoenaed by Ethan through Reddit and all that type of beat? Because if you weren't, if it's not you guys, then who is it? Who is behind these names? Like these usernames and shit like that?
Oh, they're so.
I mean, because if they're gonna claim,
damn, this shit really got me thinking right now. Cause I'm like, wait, these niggas are actually fucked. Like, they have to give up their identity no matter what. Because yeah, if you're going to fight this, especially through the legal process, to fight again being subpoenaed through Ethan, like by Ethan through Reddit, yeah, who the fuck is your attorney? Like, who are they fighting on the legal proceedings on the behalf of? Not Roman P, motherfucker. Eventually it's gonna have to be, yo, who is the nigga typing, the keyboard warrior motherfucker typing behind Roman P, typing behind Gato Fumador? What the fuck? Yo, this is actually crazy. Cooked. So cooked.
We didn't engage in contributory copyright infringement. We didn't do this, we didn't do that. It's like, well, we need to do discovery to find that out. We now have to depose you.
Right.
So now you got to tell me who you are.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I mean, this idea that they're going to jump in like this, like they were sitting there laughing that the judge was never going to grant this. Why wouldn't the judge grant the motion for a subpoena if both sides agree? They have no reason to get involved. If the plaintiff and the
cause I'm looking it up. I'm like, my dumb ass deposed. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna show everybody. Deposed, removed from office suddenly and forcefully to testify to give evidence on oath, typically in a written statement. Oh yeah, they're so fucked. They're so fucked. Like, I completely.
Like they were sitting there laughing that the judge was never going to grant this.
Exactly what I was saying earlier too. Heads like Roman P on the fucking, I don't know how, like on Reddit, basically doing like a twit longer on Reddit, saying like, oh yeah, bro, like what, bro? Ethan has no fucking job on this. How could they subpoena us or whatever when the court case hasn't even actually started? The actual lawsuit hasn't even started yet. I'm like, bro, are you dumb as hell? Like, bro.
Why wouldn't the judge grant the motion for a subpoena if both sides agree? They have no reason to get involved. If the plaintiff and the defendant agree to something, you know, the judge is never going to get in the way of that. Why? Yeah. His life is easier. What do I got to do? Hold on. What? Sign this.
And that's something that definitely happened because Reddit, my dumbass. Well, you guys are Reddit fucking mods, the H3 Snark mods, to be specific. But yeah, you Snark mod niggas, Denims gave you right the fuck up. Served you and niggas up on a silver platter. Boy, I'm gonna see your dumbasses later.
Yes, okay, cool. You know,
Yeah, completely.
I'm going to golfing. You know, like they
Well,
don't.
And at the end of the day, the thing is, they're wasting their money. I don't see any way in which they're able to successfully challenge it, and not ultimately and lead to subpoenas that would ultimately end up with disclosure. Like, I don't see this as a winning move. And by the way, that representation, let's talk about the scope of that representation. I don't think it can go past the subpoena fighting, because I think after the subpoena, they each have to get their own attorneys, because as we talked about with Casey Tron and Denims, they are adverse to each other. They are really adverse to each other. I think
I'm like, yeah, that's a whole nother thing that Ethan was talking about as well. Like, again, to reinforce that the Snark mods, like, well, even to go back to really, like, simplify this out. Oh my God, we got to break it down for a 5th grader. No, I'm really breaking it down for myself, just so I can remember all this shit heftily, because really never beating a dumbass allegations. But yo, so there's Denim, Casey, Tron, and Frogan. And then obviously below them, like the normal hierarchy in the orbit, there's the G-Boys. The G-Boys being the Snark mods, you know what I'm saying? For Denims, Casey Tron, and Frogan, they each have their own individual lawsuit. With that, obviously, Denims and Casey Tron both have the same bull, the Benjamin Cassis bull, at least for California's, John, with the Frost LLP. But, like, Casey Tron also has, like, other lawyers in Missouri. No, she has the one lawyer in Missouri, and then she has the 2 lawyers in California, and then Denims has just the bulls in California. And then Frogan has, like, a whole another separate lawyer bull, right? From there on, the Snark mods, I think there's 5 of them. Ethan said 5 of them. That's definitely, like, you know, same part of this, John. You know, the 5 of them are in all 3 lawsuits. So instead of it just being each one of them like getting sued once, they'd all be sued 3 times. So like basically for the Snark mods, it'd be 15 lawsuits. Because if there's 5 of them confirmed getting in this, John, then yeah, each one of them is in Denim's, Casey, Tron, and Ferguson, and 15. So they're supremely cooked. Like, it is so bad. But again, leading back to that, like we were saying earlier, yo, if these bulls want to fight the subpoena, they have to go through a legal proceeding, hire attorneys. Bam. Yo, brother, you gotta give up your name for this. And now, like, even Legal Mindset saying, then from there, each one of y'all mugs gonna have to hire an attorney. Y'all can't even just go through, like, just the boutique altogether. This is, ooh.
Odds are probably more adverse to each other than Casey Tron and Denims, because they are being sued as a collective, and we don't know how to portion out the liability. So for the mods, see, for Casey Tron and Denims, they each have their own stream. So you can argue that their scope of liability is limited to what's on their own stream. And those are going to be 2 separate cases, because as much as we like to compare them and contrast them, they are separate people.
And this, oh my God, like, yo, see, this is why I'm so happy I watched Lust, because, like, yo, there's so many things now, like, Trilly's on his lawyer tip or whatever. Yeah, I'm really not Trilly the dumbass, but then I can even corroborate this too, because this is something that Lust was saying, and I kept stepping in. With Casey Tron having 3 individual lawyers, this is putting her finances that were already in the shitter way even farther into the dumpster fire, right? Like, it's so bad. So if she have all 3 of her lawyers working at the same time in her case, she got paid all them bulls individually by the hour. Yeah, it's already corrupting her, right? But also, to side with that, one of her lawyers, being the Benjamin Cassis bull, is also working on Denim's, John. This thins out the amount of work time he can individually do on both Denim's and Casey Tron's case. So now with the Snark mod bulls, this same John, I'm assuming, is what would happen with them. So if they have to go out of that and then hire their own individual attorney for each of these bulls, it is just absolutely rinsing them. Like, it is just rinsing the shit out of them. At least how I'm interpreting this. I obviously could be wrong, but I'm like, dude, holy fuck. Like, this is so bad for them. I don't even understand.
The details may matter to a judge. A judge theoretically could look at Casey Tron's case and say, well, you did a bad thing, but Denims, I like you, girl. I subbed your OnlyFans. You're
Hey, man, I thought the fanzine was looking nice. It's all right.
good, I'm gonna let you off. Yes. Right? It's theoretically possible that happens. With the mods, if they look at the thread as a whole and they say, yeah, the thread is culpable, then they've got to portion that out. And I think that's where there's just you cannot avoid that.
And remember, it's not only just the thread, but what their actions. I mean, basically, the way contributory copyright infringement works too, in a way, that's being alleged as a conspiracy almost. So it's not only just what they did right there, but who were they talking to? How did they facilitate it? You know, once again, who were they talking to? Frogan? Were they talking to Denims? And that Roman P guy or whoever they are?
Because they claim to be like a girly pop, a woman, you know what I'm saying? But obviously we really won't know until obviously names are shown because of this, fighting the subpoena. But it was, I don't know. I'll be like they, he, she, I don't know.
I mentioned this. The way they keep talking on their, the way they were talking on Reddit, They make it sound like they have access to people in charge. It's like,
This is what I kept saying about the Roman P motherfucker. They was like, yo, bro, Ethan doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. All this different shit. Y'all can only imagine what messages that motherfucker has. This is so over.
well, who are you? You're
Exactly.
very
they
important.
And that's going to be very interesting because I think this could end up really weakening Reddit by the people that think they have access and kind of exposing the fact that Reddit has been run by a very small group of people that have access to the people at the top and have been the only people talking to them and have been controlling the tone of Reddit, the overall direction of Reddit, the climate of Reddit, which we all know, right? Just like Twitch, right? There's certain people that exert extraordinary influence on Twitch, right?
Same thing on Reddit. If you saw the thing with, you know what I'm saying, we were watching when Ethan was talking to Willie Mac. Yeah, they be doing some weird shit on there. Like, even some of the mods is out here telling fucking Willie Mac to KYS. Shit is crazy, bro. Fucking mods are telling you niggas to kill themselves. Interesting.
Same goes for Reddit.
But I think those, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm pretty sure those might have been the Snark mods, though, and not like the direct mods of Reddit. But even still to that, obviously, Reddit as an overall is just letting this shit happen on a plat, which is...
goes for a lot of other platforms, right? So
yeah. And somebody in chat was asking, is this for all the cases? Well, yes, the same information will apply to all the cases, so they don't need to get a subpoena for each case. They've got one that evidence will be admissible in all of them. So
yeah, so they're going to be able...
But I would presume that would mean for each, like, the evidence from each individual, like, Snark mod. Yeah, I'm able
to get that. And once again, I don't see any situation in which, especially the internal Reddit messages, I can see how, look, there's going to be some, there may be some confidential or protected or privileged messages on their phones or other things that are not directly attached to Reddit or Discord. But within those platforms, certainly those messages are going to get turned over, right? The internal Discord and Reddit messages are 100% getting turned over.
Yeah. I mean, unless they're...
I'm like, yo, I like, again, I don't know for sure, like, Trilly's not the lawyer, but I'm just like, again, I just think Corpo Company, again, these motherfuckers, they're not doing nothing for Reddit. They make Reddit no fucking money, and if anything, they're fucking up Reddit's PR, which then fucks up their money because they can get less business because of that, because of investors pulling out and shit like that. They're sacrificing these niggas. They don't give a fuck about them, bro. It's like, dude, it's yo niggas cause a problem for our bottom line. You niggas are not staying. Bye.
Talking to like their lawyer, it's gonna be
right.
It's not gonna be, it's not gonna be privileged. They're not gonna have any, especially if it's a group chat or a group message. I don't know if you can do that on Reddit. Then there really is no confidentiality because they're all talking amongst themselves.
Even worse, which I already know. Hey, shout out, shoulda love a legal mindset, and I didn't even see the bull, but shout out, shoulda love with another bull on the page. Sean, potential lawyer. Let me not even say lawyer, bro. That's defamation. Another lawyer on the case, which I already know. That was Ethan Klein Squatches Reddit mods. Of course, if you guys would like to watch the OG original video, you know what I'm saying, that boy will be down in the description. First link, shirt all over it, of course, legal mindset and Sean. But of course, final opinions and conjecture. 250% cooked. 250. That's a slammer on there. Yeah, these bulls have been. I ain't gonna lie. So it's like Roman P, Gato, Gorby, like, Shoabu, Ethan's Addict's Basement, you know what I'm saying, / Addict. Yeah, like I already said. Try to repeat himself. Cooked. Y'all finna see ya later, wagwan. Bombaclat. Other than that, again, should I love a legal mindset and Sean? And I'm finna catch y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.